I hope this is a psychic event. Yep, it is. Still don't know how many more I had to complete for her for Cheetah's multiverse. Oh, that looks cool.
The world's had about enough of you.
The regime will rise again.
Sup
Not
chaos.
if I can help it, Wonder Woman.
The ceiling, that's what's up. Ah, you bitch.
Submit to me.
Is she like secretly a zoner in this game? Kind of feels like it, at least with the AI just spamming the shield and lasso. Ah, you bitch.
Hail Demeter.
Are you kidding me? Give me a break. Ah, you bitch.
Your technique is flawed. Hail Hermes. Enough of your tricks.
Mine is no ordinary magic.
But tricks are for kids. You know, depending on how this stream goes, I might stream another game after this.
Has there been more stuff added lately? How's Wonder Woman looking like all new gear?
I think that's some gear she got when Legendary Edition came out. I think I have, well, not the full, I don't know if I have the full set for the gear she got from the Legendary Edition, but yeah, I'll go check. Also, I was looking up a couple of, well, not a whole lot, but a few upcoming films from Marvel, specifically with the X-Men, and I think it's supposed to be sometime next, February next year, they're gonna do X-Men Dark Phoenix. The weird thing about the X-Men films is that it kind of feels like a lot of them are just so far in between. Unlike Avengers films, in which it almost feels like you keep getting them constantly. Like as soon as one Avengers film is done, there's another one coming out in just a few months. Whereas with the X-Men films, almost feels like it's a long time between each of them. Long, what I call them, intervals. Also, one thing I found annoying was, it was this video I was watching of Captain America and all his fighting compilation, a compilation of all his fighting scenes from the MCU. And for some reason, people kept comparing him to Batman, talking about how
Disney is good at pumping projects out quickly.
Yeah, they are. People kept talking about how Batman can beat Captain America easily, or Captain America can beat Batman easily. Like who's better than who as a fighter or whatever else. And others and I remember one guy, he didn't even mention Batman. He was just talking about how he liked Captain America and how Captain America was better than he thought. And then some other guy responded, quickly jumped to conclusions saying, better than you thought, compared to who? Batman. And then he started going on this long rant about how Batman's much better and why, because of this and that. And I was thinking to myself, this guy didn't even mention Batman. He just simply said that Captain America is a lot better and cooler than he thought. He didn't say nothing about no Batman. I'm like, plus they're two completely different people from different companies. The odds of there being yet another crossover officially made by DC and Marvel in which they cross over together, the odds of that happening after I think the last time they did something like that was back in the 90s. That was a long time ago. And I don't know if that even is considered canon or not. Then again, it's hard to tell with DC constantly rebooting their universe. That's one of the weird things about comic book fans and being a comic book fan. I was like, I'm that kind
I
of
think Cap could beat Bats in an arm wrestling match, but I feel Batman is way more trained and disciplined, so a hand-to-hand fight would do.
You see, that's where the whole conversation gets weird because, well, not weird, but a bit complex because, unlike Batman, Captain America, thanks to the Super Soldier Serum, has, well, all that superhuman abilities. And sure, Batman's a better trained martial artist, but you can only get so far through martial arts alone. So you have Batman who may be the superior martial artist. But, well, I don't know. I mean, Captain America has years of experience as well, having fought in World War II and fought in World War II. Not to mention the other crazy conflicts he got into ever since joining the Avengers. So he himself is also a seasoned veteran and combatant. Not to mention his vibranium shield, which is damn near unbreakable. Nearly. Not exactly.
It's a shame you're human. It beats the alternative.
I wonder what the alternative is. Oh, there was another thing.
Batman goes way beyond training. In terms of knowledge and skill, I think Spats is tops.
And what? People think Captain America doesn't have skill and knowledge? See, that's the issue I kind of have with Batman, especially his fans. That people give Batman way too much credit, acting like he's somehow perfect. It's like those people who keep saying how, oh well, with prep time, Batman can beat this person or that person. And I'm like, prep time? You give anyone prep time, they can defeat almost any opponent. Well, if they have enough prep time and the right equipment. That's one thing Screw Attack got right when they did Death Battle between Spider-Man and Batman. Sure, Batman has taken on opponents physically superior to Spider-Man, like Superman and whatnot. But they said that if Batman were to be given a good amount of prep time to prepare for battle, the same can and should be done for Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man himself has utilized prep time before, getting whatever tools or gadgets he can get necessary to defeat an opponent at times.
If they both fought with all their recourses, the fight could go either way.
Yeah, and here's the thing that makes these debates about who's the better fighter and all that I don't get. Why is it that people think that these two who are superheroes, who are all about protecting the public and protecting the world at large, why would they fight each other to the death? Usually if superheroes fight each other, it's due to a misunderstanding, like one thinks the other is a bad guy, or one of them's under a mind control by some supervillain. That's usually the only main reasons why two heroes would actually fight each other to the death. Because there's always someone or something in the background manipulating one or both sides. And very rarely have I ever heard of it ending in death. If I never heard of two superheroes fighting to the death as a result of some villain controlling them. Usually one is able to break the other out of whatever mind control they're under. Or eventually they come to an understanding and realize neither one's the bad guy, they've both been fighting the wrong enemy. So it's like, why would Captain America and Batman just suddenly just meet up somewhere like, oh, we're just gonna meet up at this corner of this street in this lane and we're gonna fight each other to the death just because we feel like it. Like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work that way. Also, instead of talking about which superhero could be any other superhero, what people should be talking about is which superhero would look cool teaming up with another hero. Seriously, if Captain America and Batman were to team up with each other, that would be kick-ass. And I mostly say that just because they're like those tiny. Let's see. I feel like there's not too many superheroes in fiction who are very well adept at martial arts, at least as far as popular heroes that I know. Like, if we can get like a live action film with Batman and Captain America, watching those two team up and just fighting like a whole bunch of henchmen or taking on some powerful villain, relying mostly on their fighting skills, I would love to watch that.
I think Bats would respect Cap. They probably be respectful buddies.
Yeah, I don't see why not. So yeah, all those people who were on that Captain America video constantly debating about who's better between Batman and Wait, did I say Batman video? That Captain America compilation video? People who were debating about who's better between those two kind of reminded me of those people who always, and I mean almost always, debate Goku versus Superman.
Have you seen Justice League Dar?
What the hell is Justice League Dar? You bitch!
Oops, did I do that?
That worked last time. I always keep forgetting which string it is that combos into a super. Howdy. Let's see, as far as animated films, I have seen a bit of, what was it? Oh yeah, The Death of Superman. It's like, I don't know why, for some reason I don't like comic books or films that have that sort of title in it.
It's a new 5-2 movie where Batman has to team up with Constantine.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah,
I know what you meant by when you said Justice League Dark. It's just, what did you say? Oh, have you seen Justice League Dark? Oh, because for some reason the chat voice made it sound like it said Dar, Justice League Dar, and I was like, what the hell is Dar? Wait, Best Friends Forever event with 5 epic. Son of a bitch! I really need to read those carefully before I do some of these events. Now, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I've only seen like a few cutscenes for Justice League Dark, but I have seen
Deadshot going good for you? Sup, Gyro?
Yeah, of course he is. Oh yeah, was it? Oh yeah, Death of Superman. It was basically the typical Superman fighting Doomsday, but done New 52 style, as in they were in their New 52 costumes. Oh, sweet. And I thought it was a pretty good film. The fight scene, especially against Doomsday, was pretty good. But I just don't like how they titled the film.
Subflip.
It's like any kind of film or comic book or anything that has the title "The Death of Whoever." I'm like, well, that kind of spoils it. Of course, having Superman fighting Doomsday for the first time in whatever universe, you already know how it's gonna end. But I gotta say, the battle between Superman and Doomsday was definitely more brutal, at least as far as the battle between them in animated form.
Kiss me, lover.
Nah, I'll keep shooting.
That's funny. I wonder how exactly he's able to fire those wrist-mounted gauntlets. Like, I don't know if they're well, they're not attached to him, like not physically or anything like that. I wonder if it's just like the way do some kind of weird wave motion, some kind of weird activation. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool, but yeah, I never did find that out. I gotta look that up, see if it tells anywhere how he does that.
Probably a button on this thumb.
Yeah, because he always has his hands in a closed fist when he shoots. I still don't know why Sinestro and Solomon Grundy were left out of this game. I see no reason why they couldn't return. They said they were going to
He
go for
probably has a pressure trigger in his glove that requires a very specific pressure point to be hit.
Well, that was a very specific answer. A little 1-2. But anyways, Solomon Grundy and Sinestro would have been great additions in this game. Sure,
Like Spider-Man's web shooters.
I never played Sinestro all that much, but I definitely did play a lot of Solomon Grundy.
I thirst for your blood.
My blood will kill you.
Is it even blood at this point? Because I always seem it's more like lava. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I never played Sinestro that much, but at least having 3 members of the Lantern Corps in this game would have been better. Also, they said they were going for a bigger roster in this game compared to Injustice 1, but it feels like the roster overall is not that much bigger. That's why I say, unless they're dead or disembodied, there's no reason for them not to return. Whatever game it is. I forgot which one was that. Oh yeah, Blood Push. It's a pretty decent move, the Blood Push, but I just don't see how exactly it requires 2 character slots
I say just
or
add
ability.
everyone to the roster. They don't need to be in the story.
Yes, exactly. And there are some, and it still kind of bugs me how they're
I
willing to
like how there is almost a game for every movie except for Marvel.
what kind of bugs me is how they're willing to put Joker in this game over Shazam. And yet people say, oh, Shazam can't be in the game because he's dead. And it's like, I always keep saying, but Joker's in the game, but he's still dead. In fact, he died long before Shazam died. And people are like, oh, it's okay because of Scarecrow's fear toxin. And I'm like, that's not a legit excuse.
Your punishment is deserved.
But you can't say he can't be in the game because of whatever canon reasons. Because you, especially if you take into account all the DLC characters. I mean, they got freaking Raiden and Sub-Zero, and they don't appear anywhere in the story mode. And of course, they got the characters ending that shows how they ended up in the world of DC. If it turns out there's some special guest character like Raiden, Sub-Zero, and the Ninja Turtles, and Hellboy. And I said, well, they could have done something for Shazam. Like somehow he came back to, he was resurrected, came back to life, and became Shazam again. Because that's the one thing some people tend to forget, is that when it comes to the world of fiction, especially with comic book characters, is that a lot of characters don't stay dead for long.
Be angry with yourself.
It's like people act like there's some unwritten rule that when a character dies, they have to stay dead.
Even your name is stupid.
It heralds your death.
Compared to naming yourself after a bird? Ah, Black Adam. No replacement for Shazam, but I guess I'll have to adjust. Replacement. Even though Shazam was originally made a champion to replace Black Adam.
Marvel and DC characters do tend to come back from death a lot, and they don't even have Dragon Balls. Some YouTuber was actually complaining about MK characters. He said like there are too much MK characters, why did they just call it MK versus D?
I live to burn.
How is 2 characters too many? Well, that was very weird. Cross up, cross under, whatever the hell you call that. But yeah, there's only Sub-Zero and Raiden. Last time I checked, 2 characters is not even a quarter of the roster. Talking about too many. Some people just want to... Sounds like some people just want to complain. Okay, let's take a look. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Did I count that right? 30? 32, 34, 36, 38. I hope I count that right. So then that's 38 characters, almost 40 characters then. And you mean to tell me 2 out of those 38
Yet no
characters?
one seems to be complaining about the Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. So that's somehow 2 out of 38 characters in the roster who are from MK, and somehow that's too many. Although personally, I would have went with someone else besides Raiden. I would have went with either Liu Kang or Jax. No, I would definitely would have went with Jax. Can you imagine the kind of gear they would have for him in this game? It'd been awesome. Of course, I would have made Jax a grappler in this game if I could.
He reason they complain is because they'd rather DC characters than MK characters.
Oh, well, then all he has to do is not buy the characters. I mean, Raiden and Sub-Zero are DLC anyway. But at the same time, the Ninja
I
Turtles.
now want Jax in this game.
See, you got the Ninja Turtles, which is not just one, but 4 characters in one character slot, and Hellboy. I can't remember where Hellboy's from specifically, but you got 2 others. Well, I guess in this case, technically 5 others who are not DC, but yet no one complains about
Cause
them.
yeah, they gear for him would be crazy awesome.
That's like almost, well, I don't know if you can call that hypocrisy. I guess in a way it kind of is, because there are some people who said that it's okay for the Ninja Turtles and Hellboy to be in the game because they're comic book characters. And I said, well, even though Raiden and Sub-Zero didn't start off in comic books, they originally appeared in fighting games. But at the same time, there's still plenty of MK comic books out there that people probably don't know about. Not just the MKX comic book, but there was a comic book series by, what was it, Malibu Comics? And a few comics covering the events of Mortal Kombat 1. I think covering the events of 2. And Mortal Kombat 4. As well as a few side stories for a few characters.
But that YouTuber he's talking about has the Ultimate Edition, but I guess Raiden has a DC Premier skin, so technically one MK character.
Okay, I gotta read that. What that? Yeah, I don't get it. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that even though the Ninja Turtles and Hellboy are comic book characters, they're still not DC. So by that logic, they shouldn't be in the game either. If he wants to have something to complain about. Win without dashing.
Don't make me hurt you.
Getting the job done. Man, it's hard to get that meter burn on as a finish.
But they are surprise characters that don't fit into any fighting game really. Neither realm just put Raiden and Sub-Zero probably just to mock.
Ready to yield?
This world needs my protection.
I'll end it there, that conversation.
What?
Please, don't get up.
Oh, that's right. This is the one that can do the stage transition with the meter burn flying punch. I wonder if I have all the gear for characters that allows them to do that. Gear, or specifically gear sets. Although there are some characters where the conditions to do their meter burn, it makes no sense. Like with Cyborg, the fact that you have to charge his down back 2 for a full second before you can to get the transition, and I'm like, that's stupid. Because in the time it takes for him to charge that, that's plenty of time for the enemy to attack him. Because it's not like he has armor.
You deserve more subs and more people should watch your streams.
Oh, thanks.
The stage transition doesn't matter from the gear, it can work from a basic character with no gear.
Wait, what are you talking about? I keep forgetting Scarecrow in this game is a power type. Although the circumstances around him being in this game are kind of BS themselves. Due to the fact that he only appears this way because of the fear toxin. And I'm like, but I don't know, I mean, him spraying that fear toxin on whoever in story mode, it doesn't really suddenly make him that much stronger or powerful. If anything, that's just the fear toxin making people just see him that way. But appearing as a monster doesn't mean... I just think the circumstances for which he appears in this game as some kind of superhuman being doesn't justify Scarecrow being in this game. I always did find his powers to be pretty much bullshit. Kind of like how Joker's only in this game because of Joker's only in this game because of Scarecrow's fear toxin. And the only time he appears in story mode is when Scarecrow affects Harley with that stuff. I had to say, if they had to choose a villain from the Batman series, I think, well, I don't know about maybe Raish or Talia al Ghul, but I'm trying to see if there's any other Batman villains that they could have went with. Can't think of any. Maybe they should have just went with a different villain altogether.
The fear toxin causes disorientation.
I know what it
So
does.
anyone hit by it stumbles around while Crane just smacks at them best he can.
Yeah, I know how it works. Thanks.
They
Right.
just see it as a super monster beating on them.
Still kind of bullshit how it works. Oh well.
Imnu, is that your main?
Could you repeat that, but in English, please? So I think I'll probably stream Metro after this. That's always been one of my favorite games to record and live stream. I think I said this before already. As far as which games I enjoy streaming.
Is that your main?
You mean if Scarecrow is my main? No, he isn't. It was level 5. Every characters is over level 5. Ah, heck, I'll just play B. Too bad it couldn't give him that mask he has from the
Hey man,
Dark Knight
it's been a
series.
while.
And who this be?
Swamp Thing is his main.
Damn right. Ezra Miller. I wonder how many more characters who are gonna get. Well, I don't
What's
think
your
they're gonna.
opinion on Flash?
He's too fast. I wonder how many other characters in the future. Now, I don't think they're gonna update this game anymore to give characters gear based off the films. Any upcoming
have you
DC
been?
film. I have no idea. Wait, who is this? Oh, Ray Kid.
Can we hurry this up?
Okay, thanks, Flip.
Kind of a bit disturbing a little bit how so many people were just openly
That
hostile.
Jump Force game looks tight.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting it. I had no interest in. Let's see, didn't they make one like that before? Jump Force, something like that.
Can we hurry this up?
And I remember the first one I saw, I didn't like very much.
You'll die for your treachery.
It's given me a new life.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, people who were being openly hostile about Ezra Miller as the Flash, saying it should have been.
Are you gonna get the Spider-Man game?
I don't know. What's almost every video that was talking about Ezra Miller and his role as Flash, people were talking about it should have been the guy who plays Flash in the CW series, and I was like, but as much as people would have liked that, to me, I think that wouldn't make any sense. Because it's not just a matter of him already playing the Flash in one series, but trying to play the Flash in both the CW and in the films. I think that probably would have been too. Well, I don't know if that'd be too much stress for him, but I don't know. Probably caused something like scheduling conflicts, like the time in which they're filming.
Is not enough.
Like whatever scenes they film for the Flash in the MCU, not the MCU, the DCEU probably would have conflicted with.
Miller is a great choice for Flash.
Yeah, I think so. I just think it would have caused scheduling conflicts for filming for the Flash, and I think that's all the more reason why they decided to get a different actor, since it's, not only is it a different universe, but
I want Tobey Maguire to be Uncle Ben on the MCU.
nah, I can't really see that happening. And honestly, between Ezra Miller and I can't remember the other guy who plays Flash in the CW. What was it, Grant Garrison?
Also, it's not the CU anymore, it's the worlds of DC.
But anyways, between the two actors, I like Ezra Miller more.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
And besides his costume being technically more comic book accurate and looking cooler, I just like his character more overall.
Respect a traitor. At least I'll die a hero.
Because for one thing, I felt like Flash in the CW almost looked like in a lot of scenes he kept getting his ass kicked by a lot of people. Not to mention sometimes I felt like he was just a bit too, I kind of want to say a bit too overly emotional. But I feel like there's no point in trying to compare them to each other, since to what extent they portray the Flash is obviously
Grant
different.
Gustin who plays the CW Flash.
I was right. His first name was Grant. But yeah, there was one idiot who was talking about how he feels like Ezra Miller doesn't deserve the role of the Flash. And I was like, well, what kind of specifications or qualifications do they have to meet for you to believe they deserve the role? Oh, you bitch. Damn, I'm forgetting everybody's moves. Also, I like how with Ezra Miller, with his Flash, the way he runs, sure, the way he runs looks weird, but I kind of like it. Like emulating ice skating, or as he says,
the TMNT is pretty up in this game.
What he calls it, very competitive ice dancing. Of course, people were being hostile towards Ezra Miller's Flash about that too, saying the way he runs makes him look retarded. And there was one guy who had the nerve to complain about about Ezra Miller apparently being homosexual, even though he refers to himself as queer, and he's saying how he certainly runs like one. And I was like, what the hell does his sexuality have to do with the way he runs as the Flash? Like, that somehow has something to do with anything. Like this guy, for whatever reason, somehow convinced himself that a person's sexuality somehow had something to do with the character they portray in whatever film. And I think that goes for that woman who was recently cast as Batwoman, and apparently there have been some people complaining online about how she's not gay enough or queer enough. And I'm like, what the hell does a person's sexuality in real life have to do with the character they're portraying in a film or cartoon or whatever? And also, since when the hell was there a level of gayness that or queerness you have to be to play a character? I feel like that's a lot of them crazy ass SJWs just looking for an excuse to complain. Like there was when they did that gameplay review for Doom Eternal. In the demo for Doom Eternal, there's like a hologram projection of a woman talking about how it's officially an offensive term to call demons demon, and instead you call them mortally challenged. And how apparently some people found that offensive, and also thinking it's offensive the fact that that holographic woman said that the Earth is the melting pot of the universe. And some people are like, seriously, is this a thing now? We're now trying to legalize or normalize foreign creatures that keep attacking our planet? And is this what they're going to start calling immigrants in real life now? Calling them mortally challenged? And I said myself, well, how is this a complaint? It's a fucking video game. Plus, I'm pretty sure they put both of those things in there to show how stupid the people in the world of Doom are. Either that or just because it's funny.
So little accomplished.
I wonder what the next big thing in the media as far as fictional series go that people are going to find a complaint about. What the hell's that spear hook move of his? Ion cannon. Here it is. Back forward one. I just don't get how it is people try to complain about Doom and apparently its views on politics, all because some random hologram projection said it's offensive to use the term demons and instead it's better to call them mortally challenged. Like somehow that has something to do with politics and immigration. And I said, I'm pretty sure the demons aren't there because I doubt the demons are there because they immigrated to Earth. More like they're there to take over the Earth. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the last time in which Doom was ever about politics. If I recall, it's about one guy being basically a one-man army, kicking ass and killing demons. Wow, that is some terrible damage. You son of a bitch. Well, that was embarrassing. Damn annoying AI. So annoying they make landing the simplest attack very complicated.
really like the shader on Black Adam.
I know, right? That usually works.
Bet your cat god would love me.
You let bastards fight.
Five super moves. Hey, fuck that. I wonder why they didn't meet a burn.
Gods frown upon you.
Well, at least that took care of him. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick restroom break and I'll be right back. And I'm back, suckers. What time is it? 11:09. And of course, it's a fellow lantern. Well, a green lantern, but you know what I mean. I like for his down light attack, he doesn't even hit the opponent, he just spews blood at them.
Feels good to be back.
I wonder if constantly spitting up like that is how Red Lanterns avoid indigestion. Although considering how their blood is hot enough to burn through just about anything, that really can't feel very good. Wait a minute, what the heck? Another dead lantern. Of course, 5 epic gear better, as usual. I gotta remember to read these requirements. Holy shit, look at that. Damn, that damage though.
Being a Red Lantern most likely means permanent heartburn.
Doesn't sound very worth it to me. But then that damage. But wait, I had it on the other what gear set was I using? I think I was using his first one, which has his normals at max damage, or as high as it can be. Weird how that works. Maybe because that gear set affects specifically Green Lanterns. I don't know. But damn, did it work.
I'd still take a red ring.
I'd rather take my silver ring. It's both stylish and it's good for your brain. Provided you survive the initial and what do they call it? Orientation, inauguration.
That was for Abin Sur. Get out of my sector.
When I killed you,
Them's fighting words. Damn. What was that? Lightning. Lightning bolts strike the fight line, reducing the effective fighter's movement for a short time. Ah, I hate those things.
Hero Earth not deserved.
Wonder why they didn't give him more premier skins. They could have went with something like, what did a premier skin for Superman? Cyborg Superman, I think. Eradicator, and that's about it. Of course, those are all villainous versions of Superman. Actually, if I remember correctly, the Eradicator was supposed to be like some kind of, was said to be some kind of Kryptonian supercomputer given a body of some sort. And Cyborg Superman is a different character altogether. Hey, I mean to burn that.
There is not enough moisturizer in all the universes that could help Bizarro's skin.
Dang it.
You Bizarro best enemy!
This world is protected.
Bizarro, reject this challenge!
Son of a bitch! It's like that fire cult was specifically targeting me. Of course.
I wouldn't quit your day job.
Me am real Superman!
Hey, I got scared looking like puzzle pieces. Ah, crap. Hey, it worked. I wonder how many of those AI battle simulators I gotta complete. Forgot I only got 45, damn it, out of 100 meter burn primal rage, almost halfway there. 46 out of 100 meter burn blood lunge, and I still don't have enough damage dealt. It's taking way too long. Psychic events, not even halfway there, damn it. AI battles, only 30. Man. This game just loves putting you through so much trouble just for the simplest of gear. And it's not like the gear in this game has ever been enough to make a character OP. At least not the gear I ever gotten. Yeah, it's like everybody who submits their characters online refuse to upload a team full of level 30 characters. Well, whatever makes it easier for me. hopefully. I'm just gonna skip through this whole thing because I don't want to watch these whole fights. Or fast forward, I mean. Man, I really wish I was playing Doom right now. The only reason why I got rid of the copy I originally had was because the disc wasn't working. Because honestly, if that wasn't the case, if it not working, I definitely would have still kept it by now.
LOL, that's hilarious.
What'd you say about my mama? Man, now I felt like watching Don't Be a Menace right now. I liked how they did a spoof of that opening from Menace to Society when those two guys went inside the store and one of them got seriously offended when the store owner said, "I feel sorry for your
The
mother."
super fast fight, I mean.
Yeah, I know what you meant. And he ended up killing the store owner and his wife. Very tragic. But I like how when the Wayne brothers did Don't Be a Menace, and he was shooting all up in that store, but the clerk's wife, she was more concerned about him paying money for the damage he was causing. I remember that scene. It was just too hilarious. I'll probably go watch a few scenes. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Ready for your
I'll
close-up?
keep shooting. These big guns
There's
for
no
big
animal.
game.
Dang it, Vixen! Good luck finding an animal to imitate that can heal from being shot so much.
Ready for a
You
head-on
have false
collision.
confidence.
I'm about to say, Reverse Flash, being how he's level 30 and she's only level 21, he should have done way more damage. Yeah, I wonder if people ever use these AI battle simulators and place bets on them. Like wherever there is a bet or gamble.
You're
I probably would have done something like that, maybe. Of course, only with like a few select friends or maybe family, make a few bets. Because it's like they say, even with friends or especially with random people, you should never take any risk gambling.
It bet.
Damn AI chat. I'd be all like, I got $1,500 on the left team. Level 11, level 7, level 4. But why would you bet a team with such low levels? Supergirl. Please let me win. Hey, didn't I win the last two? Yeah, I did.
You do know how to hide.
$1,500. Damn, too rich for my blood. I was thinking more like 50 cents.
I'll go nuclear.
You cheapskate. Man, you can't even bet $1. Coward! $34, dang it.
Cheapskate no, restricted budget yes.
A restricted budget of only 50 cents. Man, that is one freaky mask he's wearing. Oh snap, I didn't even play Swamp Thing at all this whole live stream. Dang it. One of my mains, yeah, I forget to play as him. Well, damn!
Ready for that close-up?
Vixen, you better not lose this one.
Mine is no ordinary magic.
It's like the AI in this game, they're both taking turns hitting each other. Like they're taking turns hitting each other, so back and forth.
I will enjoy your suffering.
That stupid Swamp Thing theme song is still stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get any kind of theme song or music stuck in my head. Like usually, well, because I listen to so many different songs, and it's like as soon as one song ends, well, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll listen to the same song over and over again, but a lot of other times I'll just switch from one song to the next. The only time really songs get like stuck in my head is when I don't know. It doesn't happen that often.
Lucky fucker.
Hey man, I don't know you like that, man. Assigned defenders. Now, what I'm wondering is, if I were to assign defenders and someone were to challenge my team in an AI battle simulator without me even being around while playing, I wonder if that still counts as a win towards Cheetah. Oh well. So I put Cheetah. Excuse me. Put Swamp Thing. Hey, bae. Teen grapplers. Bitch. Alright, do one more. Man, there's not a lot of people who assign level 30 teams for whatever reason.
relish the challenge.
A combination of the gear he uses against Superman
Can the
and...
characters gain levels from these battle simulations?
I don't think so. But we'll see. That gear Batman was wearing, a combination of the gear from the live-action films and from
Arm is as thick as my thigh.
what he wears in the last chapter against Superman. Trying to mess with Swamp Thing, his hood. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. Yep, another day, another random trespasser in the swamp causing trouble for Swamp Thing for whatever reason. Stay off his land. Okay, so I'm gonna play a Swamp Thing for a little while, then I'm gonna go play some Metro. Hey, the last piece of an epic gear set. Oh yeah, there's this new gear I got for Swamp Thing recently. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Hey, this one. Oh, dang it. Hey, seriously, it's a freaking it's a fist holding a nail. At least that's what it's designed to look like. A wooden fist holding a wooden nail. That's literally what it is if you look at the details. Even I didn't notice that right away until I looked at it carefully.
That's a pretty sweet club.
Damn Skippy.
That's really nice. Now Swamp Thing can go clubbing.
I know, right? Forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, the new gear set. What, you mean to tell me I had this thing this whole time? Well, ain't that a bitch?
What made you use Swamp Thing and love your content?
I don't know what it was that made me love my content, even though I wouldn't use the term love. But I don't even know what it is that made me start using Swamp Thing. Because at first I didn't like playing as him because of how weird it felt playing as him in the beginning. Oh, and I can't remember if I started maining him before or after finding out that he was a grappler, or yeah, I can't remember the exact history. I just know I've been playing him for so long. Oh, now I remember what I was gonna do. Because I remember before Swamp Thing, I was mainly playing Superman, Black Adam, and Bane. Because like even in the beginning, I didn't use that many characters besides even Cheetah. I didn't use that much. Character experience for AI teammates. Oh, I guess maybe you can gain. I guess you do gain character experience from AI battle simulators. Increased gear drop character bias for the character you're playing as. Let's see if that helps. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little more challenging. Take away that last gear. Nothing left to do for Swamp Thing's legendary verse. I like doing this sometimes, just take away all the characters' gear, just leave them with whatever ability or yeah, leave them with a few character abilities, and that's about it. And just attach whatever gear I
I'm
gain.
guessing that's why you see the low levels in the simulators, people just leveling their lesser played characters.
Well, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. Like, I probably would have done that myself if I could play other modes while the characters are doing their whole thing in the AI battle simulator.
You are in danger.
Come to think of it, the only reason why I'm doing the AI battle simulators in the first place is because of, well, I need to in order to start earning, in order to get the legendary gear for Cheetah.
Deceive yourself.
Oh right, he doesn't cross up without the without his legendary gear. Cause so far I've only got the legendary gear for Swamp Thing and Black Adam. And I'm looking to get Cheetahs next. Destructive warding gnarled trunks. Solid Haley's growing stems. Go with this one, give me more health. Feels so different now playing this game after so long compared to when I first started getting into Injustice. Well, Injustice 2, I mean. Probably because I understand how everything works now compared to before when I was just an amateur at this. Wait, what time is it now? 11:49 p.m. Okay. Probably get this done by probably finish this by 12 in about 10 minutes, 10 or 11 minutes, and then originally I was gonna play some Street Fighter 5, but I was like, nah, I feel like playing Metro now. What the heck? Oh, you bitch! Haha, payback! Bitch. Damn, give me more gear, please. I remember how they used to advertise getting gear after every fight. So I was kind of disappointed when I realized that's not true. You don't get gear after every single fight. Regardless if it's in the multiverse or if it's even in two-player mode. Two-player or single-player mode, you don't get gear after every fight. As a matter of fact, going to single fight, you don't get any gear. You hardly level up. And I said, hey, that should count as false advertisement. I want my money back.
Respect the earth or leave.
It's funny when he says that. Almost as funny as what he says to Aquaman whenever he fights him, and after completing a combo, he immediately says, "Get off my land." I wonder if any aquatic-based creatures would find that racist. Telling someone like a merman or a mermaid to get off your land. Dang it!
Respect the earth or leave.
Hello.
Hi. Too bad you don't build meter fast enough whenever you attack the enemy.
Swamp Thing really is just a grumpy old man telling kids to get off his lawn.
I know, right? That's the first thing that comes to my mind sometimes whenever he says that. Of course, you go through the kind of stuff Swamp Thing goes through, especially in his origins. You would have been grumpy
How's it
almost all the time,
going?
too. Going very well, thank you for asking. Motherfucker. Damn, Joker over there looking like a zombie. Almost like that game Plants vs. Zombies. Oh, sweet. Hey, don't I have this already? I think I do. Abigail's cherished guards. Kind of weird how the only time Abigail is ever referenced is only through the gear that Swamp Thing has. He doesn't say, no one even brings up Abigail or even talks about her. Not even in story mode. Well, at least Swamp Thing appears more often than Atrocitus or Joker even.
What other characters do you play with and why? Ah, see now we do need Grundy in this roster, so we really can have Plants vs Zombies. Do
Exactly.
you have plans to be consistent on your channel?
What do you mean plans to be consistent on my channel? Plus, having Solomon Grundy, it would have been just like in the comics, the gray or the rot versus the green. Seeing as how those two are practically mortal enemies and whatnot. And also would have been nice to have an extra grappler in this game.
Consistent with uploads.
I don't know, I just upload whenever.
You reap what you have sown.
Can we play?
What do you mean can I play? You're watching me play right now.
enjoying these claws?
Not this season.
Man, I really wish I had the money so I can get the God shaders for some of the characters, like Swamp Thing and Superman, and also Black Adam. Like the demon shaders look cool on some characters, but yeah, it's definitely the God shader that looks good on everyone in this game. Of course, it looks better on some compared to others. Like for Cheetah, it doesn't look that good since it only affects her eyes and whatever clothes she wears in her gear. As opposed to her fur. I don't see why her fur can't change colors based off of the shaders you put on her. That would have been even cooler. Have her whole body, fur, hair.
I think he means against you.
Oh. What else? Like everything on about her appearance changes colors. Kind of like with Swamp Thing, Blue Beetle, and a few others. Yeah, I was not expecting that to
Yet
finish.
against you, Chaos Man.
I don't know, maybe in the future. Dang it. Dang, enemies are getting more resilient now. Man, give me more gear already.
You're playing in which room? I suggest for the future, if you plan on continuing this channel, be more consistent and have a plan, also do different types of video games to us.
Well, if I ever need any suggestions as to how to run my own channel, I'll ask for it.
The creed is power.
You know, I think it was the YouTuber
Chaos just does this for fun. He ain't trying to make a go of YouTube.
Exactly. I think it was True Underdog Gaming who referred to Blue Beetle as a zoner. And I'm like, how can he be a zoner when one, he only has one projectile and it comes out way too slow? The only other way for him to fire in a different direction is when you do it in the air, in which case he fires it down at an angle. About time they gave me more gear. Definitely Blue Beetle is one of those characters who's meant to be beginner friendly, but I wouldn't exactly call him a zoner. Kind of like Superman, he's meant to be a beginner friendly jack of all trades type character, only obviously he doesn't do as much damage, and his versatility is a bit more limited.
Just trying to help out, sorry for seeming rude, I guess. No worries.
You know, I would have found it more interesting if they put one of Swamp Thing's enemies in this game. Like, what's the name of Abigail's uncle? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Anton Arcane. I probably would have been a bit more surprised. Damn it. Yeah, I think it's because of that.
I find Blue Beetle to be the button mash character. I can play him very well, but I have pulled off some cool stuff with him just mashing. Skipping the rest. See, the thing about Swamp Thing is that no one really knows a lot about him. Can't play him very well, I meant.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of people who know a lot about Swamp Thing. The only real issue is that it's just pretty much if it's not someone who's like a main member of the Justice League, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, obviously, others like Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern. If it's not someone who's part of the main Justice League lineup or other teams like the Teen Titans, then obviously you're not going to see them in the media as often. And obviously, being a business corporation that specializes in comic books while branching out to other media, DC's clearly gonna focus more on advertising and promoting characters that are more popular, just because they're more recognizable.
I miss Nightwing and Injustice.
I know, right? Robin's a very, very poor replacement. Like in Injustice 1 when Damian Wayne took up the Nightwing mantle. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. Because the way I see it, Dick Grayson is the only person in DC Comics worthy of the Nightwing mantle. Ah, my fellow Angry Man.
Yeah, it's too bad Damian, fuckboy, Robin killed him.
It's like he's not as bad in other media, like in other animated films or cartoons, and even in the comics, he's not really that bad. It's just that for some reason,
Robin's story in Injustice is really interesting and amazing. I think Damian in Injustice is good.
To me, it's like Injustice 2, well, with the Injustice games in general, is where they really made Damian annoying. In other places, he's not really as bad. And of course, you can't really blame him for how he acts, because even if he is the son of Batman, he's still just a child. So obviously, he's not as mature as a lot of the other people he hangs out with. A child forced to act like a grown-up at times, or be a grown-up at times. Not to mention having someone like Batman for like being the sidekick, let alone the son of Batman. And Batman has been known to be very demanding. Even of other members of the Justice League, he's a bit too demanding. Like sometimes acting like somehow the world has to be run according to him. Or at least the Justice League and every superhero on Earth. And I'm like, under what authority? Because really all he is just a guy with too much money.
Yeah, I only call Injustice 2 Robin a fuckboy.
Let's see.
He's pretty cool in other things.
Yeah, now what was I saying? Oh yeah, Batman is just too a bit of authoritarian at times. And I'm like, man, you're just a guy with a bunch of gadgets and way too much time and money on your hands. And I remember watching that film, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, where Supergirl arrives on Earth, and immediately the only person who trusts her at first is Superman, obviously since they're family. Only Batman is, I wouldn't say hostile, but definitely not very trusting of her since he just met her. And like, obviously, as they say, you don't put blind trust in someone. But I'm like, she just arrived on Earth. She hasn't even done anything bad yet. At least give her a chance, or give her some time. Or how later on in the film, when she gets kidnapped by the Amazons, all because she hasn't learned to fully control her powers. So when she eventually got kidnapped and taken to Apocalypse, I was like, man, if I was in Supergirl's situation, if I was actually given the choice to stay on Apocalypse, be part of Darkseid's army, as opposed to being brainwashed, I would have done that. I would have just stayed. I just would have stayed on Apocalypse. Because odd as it may sound, at least there she's not.
You're right about Batman being demanding. Why didn't his parents raise him better? Oh right.
Dang, that's cold. But yeah, it's like in that film, Wonder Woman and Batman definitely got on my damn nerves. Like I said, Batman being too demanding and expecting of Supergirl,
You don't command the green.
and Wonder Woman just kidnapping her and forcing her to go to her island. Like if that was me, I would have told everybody to just fuck off. Like if for whatever reason, like somehow I couldn't control my powers, or Wonder Woman decides that's all the consent she needs to kidnap someone, take it to their island, and force them to train under the Amazons, I just would have stayed in my room and be all like, fuck you guys. Like every time they tell me to do something, I'd just be all like, fuck you. Yeah, I'll be super stubborn. Just sit down on the floor with my arms crossed, and every time they tell me to do something, I just say fuck you and just look away. Kind of like this one guy in this episode of World's Dumbest Criminals who got arrested by the police, and every time they asked him for personal information, all he used to say was fuck you every time. Hello to you too. I guess that's all the more reason why I say if I was a character in DC or Marvel, one, I would have just been an anti-hero. Two, I would have just stayed working solo. Only occasionally working with other heroes if I need to.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Probably even working with a few villains too if I was in. I don't know. It gets depending on how the story goes.
Getting sacked.
Come and try.
But no way would I be like those part-time or full-time heroes who act like, especially like Batman. Because like I said, he's just too much of an authoritarian. Ah, fuck! Ah, damn zoners. trying to think, who else did I find annoying in Superman Batman Apocalypse? Well, besides,
Do you love this game?
well, I enjoy playing it, but I wouldn't say I love it. Besides Wonder Woman and Batman, I can't really think who else I found annoying in that film.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just those two. Ah, you bitch. The fact that they make it so easy to avoid command grabs, by jumping or be it jumping or backdashing, or I think forward dashing too. No, I think it's just from backdashing. And heck, I remember there were some situations where I would throw out Swamp Thing's command grab first before the opponent does anything. And they could throw out some kind of attack that has a whole lot more startup than his green thumb, and their attack will still hit. The lack of priority in command grabs in some games really bothers me.
Yo bro, I subbed and turned on notifications and liked okay. Emoji big smile.
Well, that was a whole lot, thanks.
You reap what you have sown.
Surrender while you can.
This mountain is not moving.
Dang, I didn't get the full animation. I still say his super should have been an unblockable grab. I don't know why they did that. Make all super strikes in this game, no unblockable grabs. Because there was a few in Injustice 1. See, there was Bane, there was Grundy. I think that's it.
Yo.
People still say yo?
Try to keep up, Swamp Thing.
Challenge accepted.
I'm guessing a bunch of non-grappler players complained about unblockable grabs.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, because it's not like unblockable grabs are so hard to avoid in Justice. Like seriously, you can't complain about how difficult command grabs are to deal with in Injustice. especially compared to games like Street Fighter 4 and other games before that, back when characters had one frame grabs and whatnot. Yeah, Capcom grapplers. With their one frame unblockable grabs where the only way to avoid them is to be in the air or just out of range. Unless you're playing against someone like Zangief with his light SPD that always had the most range. And still with the one frame startup. Of course, I guess that's why they make command grabs so easily avoidable in Street Fighter 5. Almost as if video game companies these days just hate grapplers. I don't know, we'll see how it goes with Astaroth now that he's been announced for Soul Calibur 6. I was waiting for him to get announced in Soul Cal 6.
I want new guest characters. What do you think?
Hey, I don't mind, just as long as they have plenty of other characters from DC in this game. Seriously, the next DC character that they could have put in this game, I would like to see would be is Anton Arcane. In fact, I think Anton Arcane is the only enemy Swamp Thing had who's a consistent villain. Every other villain appeared either very rarely or only once. Or they're more an antagonist to other people that happen to know Swamp Thing. Man, if you don't start giving more gear, fucking game. See if I can get to that other Swamp Thing. Just got these two jerks to get through. Yeah, that doesn't work. Damn it.
I think NetherRealm should add Beast Boy, especially since the Titans TV show is coming out.
Can you imagine the trouble they would have to go through animating him constantly morphing from one creature to another? Oh snap, why am I just standing there?
I guess that's true.
Resistance is pointless. I shall endure.
Oh, stop hitting me.
Get off my planet. It belongs to me.
I wonder if, considering how much pressure there is at the bottom of the ocean, especially as you get deeper and deeper into the ocean, I wonder if Aquaman, being a mer creature and whatnot, can survive all those kind of pressures. As I remember, there was it was on Wikipedia. I was looking up online, and it said how we know more about the moon itself than we know about the ocean. How much gear do I have? So let's see, I have one rare gear, no, two rare gears and two, excuse me, common gears, and one that's still empty. All their bracers. Ah, you witch.
You are in danger.
Haha, who needs martial arts when you have the power of green? Still, it would have been cool if Swamp Thing did actually learn martial arts in the comics, have both the power of the green and no kung fu. I like reading those type of comic books that focus on martial arts.
I do believe
And-
Aquaman can take the pressure of the deepest parts of the ocean, or at least I think so.
And what was I talking about? Oh yeah, my favorite type of comic books where the main character is like Swamp Thing or Man Thing from Marvel, some kind of swamp style creature, or something kind of like Solomon Grundy, being how how Grundy's a zombie and all. So yeah, those kind of comic books featuring characters that definitely are borderline bizarre and almost freakish to an extent, and comic books that focus on martial arts. Like if I could find that one type of comic book that has a good balance of both, I would definitely buy that comic. It pains me to beat up on a fellow swamp man. Ow.
Fear every blade of grass. Come and try. You reap what you have sown.
Still, I wonder who I can consider the most versatile grappler in this game. I still feel like it's Swamp Thing with his moveset, not to mention the other abilities you can add to him.
Did a quick Google search, and it would appear that Aquaman is immune to any atmospheric pressure.
Atmospheric pressure, as far as being in the ocean, right?
Bullets will not be enough. I'll switch to explosive rounds.
So theoretically he could survive in a vacuum too.
Damn. Because the only characters I know who can survive in a vacuum, who I've seen survive in a vacuum, are who else was there? Oh yeah, pretty much any champions of the Wizard, basically like Black Adam and Shazam, Swamp Thing, because there's actually a time where he was exposed to outer space and he did just fine. Yeah, it was during the Alan Moore comics, and Swamp Thing was stuck in space for some time. traveling to different planets before he came back to Earth. So Swamp Thing, Black Adam, Shazam. Since apparently Shazam and Black Adam can actually breathe in outer space or something like that. And I would count Superman, but technically Kryptonians don't count because it turns out Superman can't actually breathe in outer space. He has to hold his breath. It's just that he can hold his breath for a very long time. But usually for those very long trips, he either wears an oxygen mask with a tank attached, or yeah, some kind of like oxygen mask to wear, or a spacesuit. So the only ones I know for sure are Swamp Thing, Black Adam, Shazam. Those are the only guys I know who can survive in space unaided. You should not have been able to avoid that by backdashing.
What about Green Lantern?
Well, obviously he can only survive because of his lantern ring. Pretty much for any other lantern.
Green Lantern is protected by an energy field.
Yeah, it's the same thing with all the lanterns. Their rings create an energy field around them that protects them. Ah, fuck.
Wanna 1v1.
Yeah, well, get in line.
Which would also mean the rings are either creating oxygen or remove the body's need for it.
I'm gonna do one more fight, then take a quick restroom break. And Miss Harley Quinn.
Who do you think would win a fight, Black Panther or Batman?
Well, if any of the information Screw Attack gave in their death battle between those two is anything to go by, definitely Black Panther. A better, let's see, a stronger, more protective suit, and not to mention better resources.
You are in danger.
Make like a tree and leap.
Dr. Strange versus Dr. Fate.
I don't know. Hey, are you asking me these questions based off of the battles they did it from Screw Attack? That's what it feels like. And I'm gonna take a quick restroom break.
I would give it to Strange as he is bound by less magical rules.
checking the time. It is 12:35 a.m.
What about Joker and Harley Quinn versus Deadpool and Domino?
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's another battle I've seen someone already do on YouTube. Plus, I don't see how exactly that would be much of a challenge for Deadpool. Because I'd say for Joker, seeing how Joker likes to break his opponents down mentally and psychologically, good luck doing that to someone who's already been broken, like Deadpool. Not to mention Deadpool, not only are Deadpool and Domino trained in combat, but let's see, it's a matter of superior equipment and combat skills versus two people who are technically amateurs by comparison. Of course, I am a bit biased.
It was Bat in the Sun that uploaded this video.
I'm a bit biased because I'm a big fan of Deadpool.
The hero's fate is suffering.
Stop blocking.
Vengeance of Horus.
Wait, didn't I say I was gonna go until 12? It is way after 12.
If the Joker and Deadpool ever met, I think it would result in Joker paying Deadpool to go fuck with Batman.
Yeah, that'd be funny, just seeing Deadpool annoy the hell out of Batman. Because considering how Deadpool usually means well, but he still ends up he comes off as very, very annoying. It'd be funny to see how he acts around DC characters.
Okay then, Deadpool versus Batman.
Respect the earth or leave.
You know, now that I think about it, if Deadpool and Batman were to team up with each other, I bet you at some point Batman would probably be all like, I wish I was working with Damian, no matter how annoying he is. Seriously, sometimes you never realize just how much you miss being around a certain person or how much you prefer working with them until you meet someone who's even more annoying than they were. Like, Damian could be a bit difficult to work with at times, but if Batman were to team up with, like, Deadpool, he would lose his patience real quick. As a matter of fact, it'd be like watching a sitcom. You got the more mature, responsible person in Batman, and then you got the childish, immature person in Deadpool. Two complete opposites of the same coin. But yeah, I feel like there's too many people constantly debating and asking about.
Wolverine versus Wonder Woman.
If you don't stop asking that damn question, or these damn questions. Now, anyways, instead of it being like people wondering about this person versus that person, I would like to see more discussions talking about who will be better off teaming up with who. And like for me, just almost anyone teaming up with Deadpool, you know it's bound to be funny because of how annoying Deadpool can get in a matter of seconds. In fact, I think there's even one time in the comic where Deadpool was actually working for Galactus, and it didn't take long for Galactus to get annoyed with Deadpool's constant talking. I don't think there's anyone who can't handle the annoying talkativeness that is Deadpool. Seriously, to make someone like even Galactus of all people lose his patience, that's almost like a special talent you gotta have. I don't know the exact issue or the name of it, but I remember there was one time in comics where Deadpool actually freaking busted out the Shoryuken on, who was it? It was someone from the X-Men comics. Oh yeah, Kitty
Actually,
Pryde.
there is a Deadpool version of Galactus. His name is Galactapool.
Yeah, I remember it. I saw something like that in the Deadpool kills Deadpool, the Deadpool versus Deadpool comic book.
Even Thanos has a hard time with Deadpool, though he did pretty well with him in that one storyline.
Yeah, I wonder how long that lasted. Now, what was I saying? Damn it, I already been had these. Still need Abigail's Heart Brace and Abigail's Crown of Tears. And for this one, I need Branches of White Lantern Energy, Avatar of Life Entities Club. So that makes only...
I wonder if Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet could permanently kill Deadpool.
I don't know, because I mean, Death itself, or herself, since she manifests as a female a lot of times, has made it clear just how much she adores Deadpool for whatever reason. Not to mention, Thanos himself actually cursed Deadpool with immortality. So I think it would have to be a combination of taking away Deadpool's immortality that Thanos gave him, and also taking away his healing powers that brought him back to life no matter how many times he died, and Death losing her affection from Deadpool. I think it would take all three of those things for him to die permanently.
She adores him cause she can't claim him.
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons why. Because of his healing factor, constantly saving him. Still need 100 meter burn primal rage, meter burn blood lunge. I'm not even at 2 million, let alone 3 million. That's too much. And I'm not even halfway past the psychic event requirements. AI battles 1. Not even halfway there with that one, and I'm only halfway through with the match victories. Yeah, Cheetah's also definitely gonna take a while. I wish the requirements for legendary gear wasn't so much. Oh well, that's the end of that one, and I'm gonna see. I think I'll probably come back with another live stream after a while. Just depends on whichever one I feel like playing after this. I think probably instead of Metro, I'll probably play Street Fighter. We'll see, and I'll
Do you
see.
think Deadpool really could kill everybody in the Marvel Universe?
Well, probably because they actually did a comic book on that. Of course, that was in a different universe, and it was a different universe, so it's possible the rules on as far as like the limitations of some people's powers and abilities was probably a lot different, probably much more limited compared to the mainstream Marvel universe. But still, they did a comic book of that, and it showed Deadpool of an alternate universe killing all the superpowered beings in his universe. So it made me think that if that version of Deadpool could do it, it's possible the main or the original Deadpool could do it as well. Which is almost kind of scary to think about. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this, and I'll see you on the next one, next stream or video. See you later. As a matter of fact, let me... It depends on what the the writers of the comic book want. Hey, where do I go? Where do I go to check out the comments? Here we go. Let's see. Frankie Ures, thanks for the sub. Now, who was trying to tell me how to run my channel? Tobey Maguire to be Uncle Ben in the MCU? Hell no. Let's see how long ago it was. Apparently I've been streaming for 2 hours. Let's see. He reason they complained is because they'd rather DC characters than MK characters. That made no damn sense. But that YouTuber he's talking about has the Ultimate Edition, but I guess Raiden has a DC Premier skin, so technically one MK character. But they are surprised that characters don't. They are surprised characters that don't fit into any fighting game really. NetherRealm just put Raiden and Sub-Zero and just to MA. What the hell? I'll end there that conversation. Man, there's always that one person you're bound to find on your channel who makes some weird comments. And sometimes they don't even do a good job of explaining it. Here's another one from them that made no sense. The stage transition doesn't matter from the gear. It can work from a basic character with no gear. And I don't know what the hell he meant by that. Probably when I was talking about earlier about characters having gear that allows them to do stage transitions with a specific special move under specific conditions. New, is that your main? Is that your main? Hey man, it's been a while, Swamp Thing is his main. What's your opinion on Flash? Oh yeah, I remember this person asked me that, and I said to them how I thought Flash was too fast. I'm gonna try to find that comment where someone was telling me about suggestions they have for my channel. Let's see. Here's one person who was asking if they could play against me. You're playing in which room? I can't remember that. I can't tell if that's a question or a statement. Oh yeah, here it is. This person. I suggest for the future, if you plan on continuing this channel, be more consistent and have a plan. Also, do different types of videos to. It just ends it with the letter S. That was kind of weird. But that's going to be the end of this. And you all have a good evening.